if your brand went quiet and you've been blaming either the algorithm or your move or motherhood or just because you needed a break, I'm going to give you the three real signs it's actually probably burnout, what your nervous system is doing when you go silent, and why I'm about to revive two of my own brands in front of all of you to prove the fix works. So grab your cup of whatever's keeping you grounded and let's dive in. Welcome to Heart Led CEO, the podcast for women wellness entrepreneurs who are ready to build, scale, and automate their businesses without sacrificing their soul, sanity, or authenticity. I'm Anacani Walters, a nurse turned entrepreneur, military spouse, first-time mama in my 40s, and a recovering burnout survivor who's making it a mission to help heart-led women just like you create thriving businesses that really feel good, do good, and give you the freedom that we all deserve. Because here's the thing, you don't have to hustle harder to succeed. You don't have to drown in tech overwhelm or try to do everything alone. And I'm here to give you the strategies, automation tools, and mindset shifts that will help you step fully into that leader, CEO, and impact maker that you are meant to be. If you're ready to grow your business in a way that aligns with your values and your life, you are in the right place. Let's get into today's episode. Hello, my beautiful friend. Welcome. I'm so happy to be here with you. And if you've spent the last few episodes with me, you've heard me walk through the Protect, Participate, and Profit series, which I enjoyed doing. It was really scary. They were intense episodes. And if you listen to any of them, I'm so happy to have you in that space, supporting, listening, possibility scarf on, and hopefully at some point you put on your decision crown and made some decisions for yourself. And all of those episodes were really about this bigger picture of how we as heart-led women show up in this AI-driven world, and mainly without losing ourselves or our mind, and really helping protect us and our families. But today I'm going to just go back a little bit and make this a little bit more personal. So if you haven't been on my Instagram, I recently did a reel where I publicly announced that I'm going to be building in public. Now, if you are new to this space, you've not really known too much about me. My name is Anacani Walters, and I actually have three brands. EmpowerHER Wave, which is what you're listening to right now, as this podcast supports directly that brand. But I also have Fat Mermaids, PHAT, which is my stand-up paddleboard body positivity brand, which teaches women how to reconnect with their bodies and build confidence on the water. That's literally the slogan, building strength and balance on water. And then I also have my Yoga Magic, which is my pre and postnatal and trauma informed yoga brand. And trauma informed mainly serves the military community because I am a military spouse. Now, the truth of the matter is that those two brands went really quiet. Not because I necessarily ran out of ideas or the market dried up, nothing that would make me feel better. I didn't stop caring. I didn't want to not do it. They went quiet because I was pretty much burnt out. I just didn't realize it while it was happening. And if you know my story, you know that I burnt out in my 20s. I actually got diagnosed with two heart conditions because I burnt out of nursing really early in life. And I think because I've spent so much time in this burnout phase, learning about burnout once I figured out that that's what I was dealing with, and adrenal fatigue and all of these things, workaholicism, and all the things that added up to me burning out in general in my mid 20s. And I don't believe a lot of people talk about enough, especially in the wellness, is that we think burnout is this dramatic moment, or like you find yourself like in some psychotic meltdown, like you're crying in the shower, or you pass out, or you end up in the emergency room, like all messed up. And is not. If you know my story, I only found out I had the heart problems out of a really freaky, weird coincidence. And I realized how lucky I was, how I found out, because that secret burnout, if I had not been in the place that I was and learned when I did, I probably wouldn't be talking to you today. I would have been one of those 20-year-olds that you find in the middle of the street in a major city who just collapses and they die before they get to the hospital. And it's just like this weird coincidence. And so it sometimes can feel like it gets to a really bad state of texting your best friend or crying yourself to sleep or confessing to somebody like, I just can't do this anymore, or some of the other more dramatic things, but it's less likely. Like, more often, burnout is just this really slow fade. And it can look like when your Instagram account is showing like 100 views because you stopped posting on it. Whatever it is that you were selling, whether it's yoga classes or Reiki sessions or coaching sessions or your course, you just stop talking about it. It's sometimes it's that brand that just drifts into the background while you're convincing yourself that you'll get back to it later. And then that later really becomes 6 months. And then those 6 months become a year. And then you feel like the longer you stay quiet and just trying to keep convincing yourself that it's okay, the harder it feels like you're going to be able to come back. And then you just decide, forget it. I'm just not going to do it. And then you get sad and you get depressed and all these things start to happen. And how do I know? Because, well, for one, I've lived it. I understand what it feels like to be in denial, to convince yourself it's not anything big. And I had two really great businesses that were thriving, and I kept making these excuses for myself in the back of my head, not in a bad way, but just like I kept telling myself it was because I didn't have enough time, because I was putting more time in this, because I was, I was making up all these excuses. And it was really that we moved from Japan back to the United States, and I had to rebuild everything, my contracts, my permissions on base, my community connections. I mean, literally 7 years of me working my little heart out. It felt like I was starting from zero. And instead of giving myself the grace that I just needed and say, hey, have the big girl talk with myself, Anacani, this is a season, like let's be strategic about it. I just quietly stopped showing up for the other two brands because in my mind I was like, this is not something that I can do right now. And I'm going to put all my effort into Empower Her Wave and really like dive in and learn everything that I can about AI. And it sounded really strategic because theoretically that was the only business that I really could continue since I was moving from an overseas state back to the US. There's a lot of legalities that I realized I needed to establish, but it should not have really stopped me from continuing to be present. But I was burnt out and I didn't allow myself the time to adjust. And I was avoiding the discomfort of just being visible in something that really felt unfinished and getting caught up in like, it's not perfect, it's not done. I can't promote my businesses, I can't post or market because I have nothing. I have no people. I don't even have the right permits. I have no idea how I'm going to restart all this. And it was just my nervous system response and not necessarily this business strategy that in my mind I thought I was like rocking it. And in yoga, if you're a yogi, we talk about tapas, which is this concept of the inner fire or this discipline of showing up even when it's uncomfortable. And it's not like you're punishing yourself, but because of this discomfort is where transformation lives. We understand when you hear so many people talk about when it gets hard, like that is when you know you're so close to something big. That's where that saying is, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. And I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I can't do this. Like, this is just too hard. I don't think it's going to be worth it. And my husband's really like, that's how I know you can't give up. Because that's like the point where you get to that point, you need to just push past it because success is right on the other side of this discomfort. And I mean, there's so many analogies. Like, I used to be a marathon runner, and you hit that 20-mile wall, and you don't have no idea what people are talking about. You're like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like a brick wall, you guys, like for reals. That doesn't even make sense. What do you mean I'm gonna hit a brick wall? Like physically, they're like, no, it's like just gonna be like this personal, it's going to literally feel like you hit a brick wall. Like you physically cannot keep going. And that is when you're gonna mentally have to be stronger than your body and just keep pushing. And I had no concept of like how it was really going to be until I physically experienced it, not necessarily at mile 20, but I did hit the wall that they talk about in marathon running. And it could not have been any closer to the truth of how they try to explain it to me. And it is again the same. Once you just muscle through mentally and just tell yourself, this wall doesn't exist, you can do it, you're so close, and you physically just keep going and you push past that moment, then it does. Like your body just like, okay, gets its second win and you just keep going and then you finish. So it's essentially that way. That's how I think of like the tapas. And I let literally my tapas go out in two of my brands, two of my businesses, the two businesses that gave me life, that were filling my cup, that made me feel so passionate that I could teach all the time. The whole reason why Empower Her Wave even existed. This is not about getting sympathy or putting myself down or calling myself out necessarily, but it is about just giving you that story and letting you know what I'm about to do about it, because awareness is power. So now what do I do? And I'm telling you this because I think it matters for you too. Like starting this week, I am publicly reviving both Fat Mermaids and my yoga magic in front of everybody, including you. And I'm using my own alchemized content method. And it's just my version of a BIP. And so when I was really thinking about how I was going to do this, should I do it? I really started to think about those renovation shows like HGTV. And the magic of HGTV is that they don't wait until the house is beautiful. They film and they show you everything, like the demolition and the hot mess and the things that were like, oh shit, we did not account for this. We're going to have to rethink it. They give you the suspense of like, oh my gosh, are they even going to be able to finish it on time? They pull you into the whole story and show you the drywall and all the unexpected things. And it gets to a point where you're so invested, you have to see the finished project. And that's basically what I'm doing, but just with two of my businesses that were service-based businesses. And that's how I'm going to continue in terms of a business strategy. They're still going to continue to be service-based. And I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to be completely honest about my numbers beforehand. I'm going to talk to you guys through the strategy of my mindset in terms of what I'm thinking, how I'm going to start. You're going to see all the hot mess in the middle, and then you're going to see the results, like actual data, not just some highlight reels. And I'm doing this because I believe that every woman who listens, hopefully, to my podcast, who has had some type of project or brand or dream that somehow went quiet, or maybe you have an offer that's collecting dust, that you put so much heart into it, you put it out into the world, it flopped, and then that was it. You gave up and you felt completely destroyed, and you just decided it wasn't for you and kept going. And it bugs you because you're like, gosh, what if it could have? Or maybe you have a business and you just stop showing up for it. And you just need to see that revival is possible before it's published. I know so many of us are so scared to build or to sell before we even build. And I have learned the hard way that it actually is the best way to go about doing some of these things from a business perspective. But sometimes it works better. You get more motivated. It's seeing is believing. And I need accountability, honestly, because when I tell somebody something, then that makes me feel like, damn, I already told them, so I got to do it. And the teaching piece, because I'm not just here to share my journey and hope that you care enough that you're going to want to participate or pay attention or be part of the journey, is that I'm here to give you something that I hope you can use today. So, here's the three signs that your brand silence is burnout and not necessarily a strategy problem, because there is a fine line between the two. So, number one, you feel relief when you don't post, not peace, like full on relief sigh. There's a difference. Peace is I'm in a season of rest and I'm trusting the timing, as opposed to relief is like, oh, thank God I don't have to think about that today. Like the relief that your nervous system is telling you that visibility has become a threat as opposed to an opportunity. And that's how I really knew I needed to step back from nursing, because I was literally waking up every day just miserable at the thought of having to go to work. Like I had to put three alarms just to make sure that I didn't sleep through, because I would sleep through the first one so that I wasn't late, because I honestly didn't give a shit no more. And that's why I was like, okay, I think there's a problem here. I used to not have to. I woke up always, there was a shift. I could see it. So, number two, you keep planning the comeback, but you're never executing it. You never get to that part where you actually start doing things. Like you've redesigned your whole Instagram grid, and in your head, you've done it like 47 times. You're taking strategies. And I heard this lady describe it as a Frankenstein strategy, where you're taking little bits from like 10 different coaches that say they're the expert in this one thing, and you're just kind of piecing it together like a mad scientist. I was like, oh my gosh, that is literally so many people. And I've been that person too. And you've written your captions and you've planned out your whole calendar and you've opened up Canva and you have all these templates that you bought from Etsy, and then nothing. You open up Canva, you kind of look at it, and you just close it like every time, thinking, oh gosh, I don't have enough time. And you start going into those excuses. That's not procrastination. That is your body protecting you from something that it feels unsafe from. Usually, may could be judgment or failure or being seen in something that doesn't feel ready yet. And the third one is you talk about the brand in like a past tense. Like I used to teach sup yoga. What do you guys hear me say? I used to be a nurse. And people are like, you don't used to be a nurse. You are a nurse. Like you'll always be a nurse. Or I had this postpartum yoga thing, or I used to teach prenatal yoga. When you start referring to something active as if it already ended, your subconscious is trying to let it go before you consciously decided to, technically. So if any of those three hit, I want you to hear this, because it could be like, damn, you feel bad about yourself, or like something's wrong. And I hate this term, but you're not broken. It's not that your brand is dead either, or your dream, or your course, or your whatever it is. You did not miss some magical window, and this is it. Like it's too late for you. What happened is your nervous system did what it is designed to do. Like it protected you. It did its job. Give yourself a little bit of a hug. But now the work is to gently and intentionally support your system back, thank it for protecting you, and then you mentally coming back. And that's what the Alchemized Content Method was built for, which is my framework. It's what started all of this. And it was not intended to make you create more content. It was to help you create a rhythm that doesn't burn you out, that honors the season that you're in, that honors the energy that you actually have for the life that you're actually living, and not some fantasy of what we think we should be doing or what we think we actually are doing, like the real you. So that really this one idea, big or small, becomes pretty much everything you need, either for a week, for some people it could be an entire month, and to keep you from feeling like you have to create new things every single day or every single week, depending on what your content rhythm is. And it is about making you aware of your energy leaks and filling those holes so that you can really start serving from an overflow as opposed to continuously serving from within your own cup. And I'm about to prove it that my system works because it's a whole system. It's not just the Alchemized Content Method, it's also my lunar framework to help me with decision fatigue and really giving me the time that I need to serve my clients from a full cup. And I'm doing that starting now. Now, if you're sitting here, if this is all resonating and you're thinking, okay, Anacani, this sounds amazing. I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to watch the transformation, but I want to like get in on this and I don't know where to start. I built something exactly for anybody else who wants to have some momentum in what I'm building. And it's called the Embrace the Sparks Bingo Challenge, which lives inside my free Facebook group community. And it's really simple. It's so low pressure and it is helping create content without so much drama or tension or like, oh God, dread that I have to post again. It's super fun. I've gamified it. So if you love bingo, you would love this bingo challenge. And I just love it. I love going in there and having the content sparks pick a bingo tile for me and then just letting my creative juices go and really thinking, how can I relate this back? It's just a simple and really powerful way to make magnetic content that actually sounds like you, that you're actually excited to post without the doomsday of like thinking about the algorithm and all the things that sometimes come into it. And it's not about this 90-day content plan that you have to feel like you have to follow. There's no overwhelm. It literally is just a bingo card. And then you have a community that's there to cheer you on that you can share, like, hey, I did it. And every time you get a bingo, you get put into a drawing for a prize at the end of the month. It's super fun. And we get to like see who wins. It's this really cool thing that I do when it's live. And so you'll hear more about it at the end of this episode. But if you're already feeling that pull, just go into the show notes and you can look up the Facebook group. Again, it's free. And I want to just leave you with, if your brand or your dream or your course or your whatever just went quiet, it wasn't because something is wrong with you. Please believe me when I say that. It is because you were literally in a survival mode. A survival mode does not produce magnetic content. What does it actually produce? Silence. And the antidote is not more hustle. It is a system that meets you where your energy actually is. So your quick win for today is open your notes app right now. If you're driving, keep driving and come back to this and write down one thing, either a brand, an offer, a business, a piece of your business that just kind of silently went quiet, and just name it. Just say it out loud. Like, you don't have to fix it. You're just acknowledging that it's there. And again, what do we say? Awareness is power, and naming it is the first repair. And it can stay hidden. It can stay like there was a reason why it was in the dark. That's okay. And you're going to watch me do this in real time, literally over the next 6 weeks. I'm going to show you everything, all my strategies, all my numbers, the prompts that I'm using to get all the information, any pivots that I might have to do as a result of certain things that I might come up against, and then ultimately the results. And so if you want to do it alongside with me, the best place to follow along and have me cheer you on is inside the free Facebook group. And as always, continue to be you, continue to be beautiful, and continue leading from your heart. I will catch you in the next episode. All right, beautiful. That's a wrap on today's episode. But before you go, let's talk about something really important. You are not just another entrepreneur trying to figure things out alone. You are a wave leader, someone whose work is meant to create real impact, touch the lives of others, and make this world better. And I want you to know you don't have to do it alone. If today's conversation resonated with you, I'd love to keep this energy going inside of my my free Facebook community, EmpowerHER Biz Collective. It's where we take these conversations deeper with live trainings, tech walkthroughs, and real heart-centered support from other women wellness entrepreneurs who really get it. So if you're ready for community, clarity, and support as you build your own business with heart and ease, I'd invite you to come and join us. You'll find the link in the show notes. And hey, if you love today's episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a review if you feel inclined, and share this with a fellow heart-led women entrepreneur so that we can build this movement together. Until next time, keep leading with heart.